Comeuppance Network.
This is how to watch TV.
On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
Chronologically Lost with Joel and Jenna. My name's Joel. Jenna's right there also.
This is Jenna.
That
There's a fly flying around, so if you see my head go like...
You're working on a fly, you're
Right.
not having Tourette's,
Right.
for example.
we're
Not to be disrespectful to Tourette's people.
Right, Tourette's people do not... Well, some, I guess they do.
Oh,
I was thinking
now
more
you
about
know,
the foul
now you're a
language.
Tourette's expert.
Okay, I'm not. I'm not.
Sorry. Welcome to How to Watch TV Chronologically Lost with Joel and my Tourette's expert sister, Jenna.
I said I'm not. Anyway, we're brought to you by Comeuppance Network, who apparently likes to offend people, but you could find all of our social media links on...
In case you want to contact her about specifically her comments about Tourette's.
Oh my God.
You'll probably get expletive
No.
spasms. on
Oh
the
my God
keyboard.
at ohmygodjoelsucks.com.
Yeah, this is how to watch TV.com. As Jeremy says, email us directly at thishishowtowatchtv@gmail.com as opposed to...
Does he say that?
Yeah. As opposed to indirectly. And we are here to talk episode... Well, first, how was your 4th? Enjoy your 4th of July day?
It was fantastic, and yours had to have been too, because you were with me the whole day. So,
For the most part, I was with you, yeah.
I really...
I mean, nobody came with me to the fireworks. I remember that.
Yeah, I had to...
Shout out to Chris Salazar for hanging out with me while I was
Oh,
droning at
hey,
the fireworks.
Chris.
He watches the Game of Thrones one, so he doesn't watch
that.
this. So
That's cool.
he won't catch the shout out.
I went to elementary school with
See,
Chris.
somebody just joined.
They joined?
You're supposed to be going, oh, look.
No, there's nothing. I don't see anything.
Well,
I'm
then-
getting notifications on my own personal stuff on Facebook.
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good
Did they
firework
do another
display.
fireworks show right across the street
Yeah,
from
there
you
was
again?
a ton. And my friend that was over looks over. She's like, so next year, can you cut down that one tree over there? Because they had a bunch of fireworks. Basically, where your house is going to be built, right across the street is where they were blowing them off. Mm-hmm. So when you look to the right, there was like a bunch of the trees in the woods blocking half of the fireworks as they blew up.
Oh, like from your house?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because we were looking at the
I'm
subdivision.
sure they'll go.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll have that cut down for you.
No big deal.
But
So I'm going to always have fireworks right across the street from me?
it was a nice display, and
I mean,
nobody
I could fly
got
the drone
burned,
right there.
and nobody spent any money. It was fantastic. I mean, I drove past the fairgrounds, and it just looked awful.
This became an episode of Joel Henderson's show as opposed to How to Watch TV.
No,
My
we're good.
bad.
I mean, we'll get
We're just talking about our
Everybody
lives.
can
Yeah.
always knows that they can just fast forward through this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you're welcome to fast forward through
You don't
it.
have to listen to us talk at all.
I just got lost there for a minute. I was enjoying the conversation. I'm like, oh, this is just us talking about stuff.
I mean, the parade was a lot of fun. I heard a lot of bad things about other parades around, that there was like only 20 floats or this and that. I'm like, Crump Point had 123 floats.
Not floats. Cars were most of them.
Well,
and people walking.
Entries, 123 entries,
Okay.
whatever. So, I mean, there was some decent stuff. The people that brought out the trampolines and doing
the flips, that was
cool.
awesome. Yeah, that was my favorite part, honestly.
I mean, there was a lot of neat stuff.
It went much faster this year than previous years.
It was
it
took 2 hours.
I had taken up Jeremy's cause of at all costs avoid the parade.
This year was beautiful weather, though.
The weather
it was like
was-
72 with a breeze, and the kids were happy. There was nobody
Yeah.
sweating and crying the whole time. We remembered to pack beer,
My
all the
cat,
important stuff.
Smoke Monster, on Thursday. Okay, last Wednesday, I brought him home here for the
Right.
first time from my old house. We moved out like 4 months ago, but I left the cat there as long as I could.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
'Cause
it's
everybody
time to
here is
bring him.
allergic.
My brother Seth is allergic, so I can't have the cat in the house. So he has to be outside, but he's always been an inside cat. Well, the Smoke Monster must roam. So I put him out there, and he was chilling. I figure it's related because it's the Smoke Monster.
Yes, okay.
He was out there on the porch, and then Thursday, while I'm at work, I get a text from my dad that the cat's in the tree. So the dogs chase Smoke Monster up the tree.
Oh, my God.
And we came home Thursday, and Jeremy and I and Lena were out there for 40 minutes trying to get the cat out of the tree. Could not get him out of the tree. He went up higher. So
Ridiculous.
I ended up trying to get him. I got him back down to where he was in the tree, and then I just went to bed.
You didn't just call the fire department?
No, I just went to bed Forget it. You want to stay up there, dummy?
Right.
Starve.
Yeah.
Fine.
Aw.
You know, like, you have to come down to eat. I can't. What am I
Right.
supposed to do if you're so dumb that you're going to sit there until you
He
die?
has claws, right?
Yeah, but they only work going up. I did read about it. They only work going up. They don't work going down.
Well, yeah, because they're
they grip.
rounded. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work right. So I get it. So anyway,
You didn't put a trampoline at the bottom?
he's not an outside cat. So the next morning he's gone. And that's it, like he had never been outside before. This is strange territory.
Right.
All I kept dreading was that I was going to drive down the road and he'd be dead on the highway.
Yeah.
That I did not want to see. So I didn't see that. And then Monday morning, 3 days later, we walk out on the deck in the morning and hear meow. And he's 2 trees back. 2 trees over.
So did he
I think
walk
he
the
jumped
branches
from
and
tree to
jumped?
tree.
Yeah, must have.
That's the only thing that makes any sense.
But 3 full days? What a crappy life.
Right. And I tried going out there and meowing. He never meowed back. So I took him afterwards.
Are you my 6-year-old?
Why?
Because Caden barks at the freaking neighbor dogs.
The cat won't... I'm
So
telling you.
He's like, Mom, I'm bonding with the dogs.
I'm telling you,
No, you're
Smoke
not.
Monster didn't allow a buddy of mine to touch him or come near him until he meowed at him. I said, just meow, and he will come to you. And he fucking meowed, and the cat came to him.
That's ridiculous.
The cat does that. So afterwards, I was so happy he was back. I'm like, because my biggest hope was that the Smoke Monster was going to be living in the woods.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to be roaming the woods wildly. You know what I mean? That would have been the
Right.
fucking best. So I took him out there on a walk through the trail with me.
Uh-huh.
And he walked down the trail with me from this side all the way to my house and all the way back.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. So the cat's back.
Cat's
Anyway,
back.
No Smoke Monster in this episode, though, right? No Smoke Monster.
No, lots of lock, though.
Episode 39 of Chronologically Lost, October 27th through November 1st, 2004. Days 36 to 41. So there was a jump of days here. We skipped like 3 days, or 2 days in this episode.
Well, yeah, because they were digging that hole that I kept talking about when they were digging out the
But not at the
and
beginning.
building that thing.
We didn't skip it at the beginning. We start on day 36 at Russo's bunker, and Jack's looking through the remains after
Right.
the explosion, and she basically took everything and bailed prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew they were going to come back once Saeed left, that eventually he'd bring somebody back, and she grabbed all her shit and moved on. And then it was like, okay, well, where? Then we
don't know.
cut to the jungle, and Hurley and Charlie are looking for Jack and Saeed, and they're walking towards the blast. And Charlie's
Charlie was
annoyed.
being super shitty. I mean,
Who was Charlie? Or-
yeah.
Was it justified, you think? I mean, Hurley acted as if, I don't know.
Charlie didn't have to go after Hurley. I mean, he's like all pissed off because Hurley's running out in the jungle looking for Rousseau, and then he's mad because Hurley walked across the bridge and Charlie chose to walk across the bridge, and then there was an explosion and he's calling Hurley
But he's going
crazy.
towards it. Hurley's going.
I get
yeah,
it, but Charlie's making all those decisions to follow Hurley. He didn't have to do any of that.
Valid. Yeah.
So
no,
don't
he
be
didn't have
shitty
to.
and calling him a bloody loon when, I mean, you're doing it too.
But look at the alternative for him, though. Be stuck out in the crazy jungle. Like, that's his option.
Well, no, he
Charlie's.
could have stayed with Saeed and Jack.
Oh, you mean when he ran across the
Yeah.
bridge? Well, I think he assumed they were coming too. Until he made it
I
across
think
and
I would've
barely
been-
survived.
I would have been last.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, that's why Hurley
I'll wait
went
here
first.
for
He's
you
just like,
guys.
"Fuck
See
it."
you later.
Yeah, right. I'll be right here.
Yep.
You already have a tent set up.
Yep.
I had it in my bag. He's like, so what happened? You go from happy-go-lucky, good-time Hurley to Colonel Kurtz, and Hurley hasn't told Charlie anything about himself, so Charlie can't possibly know who he is.
Right.
You know, to be talking shit. And, another Lost mention. We're lost out here. Charlie says Jack and Saeed could be dead because Hurley's acting like a nuh-uh. And Hurley, I'm not crazy, and that's his, don't call me Yella, don't tell me what I can't do. Like, that's his thing. You
Right.
can't call Hurley crazy, or else he's going to go, I'm not crazy, dude.
Right. Well, I get it.
What are you browsing over there? It better be something
Mark,
related
yeah,
to this.
Mark Knust.
Uh-huh.
Good old Mark Knust. Hey, Mark, where you living nowadays? Down south?
Yep.
Okay. He said that's what I get for tuning in late. I thought you were talking about the smoke monster in the show and was thoroughly confused again.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Definitely talking about my cat, the smoke monster.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. So Hurley's going to tell him what's up, basically. He's going to let him know some secret, and then shooting starts. And then he did say about a year ago. Damn it, I put in here research when that was. Because if I went back a year ago and saw what Hurley was doing about that time, was it when he won the lottery?
Yeah, it had to be.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He did outright say he was worth the money, but
Right.
the way he was setting it up, I thought it might be something else. So they take off in different directions. Hurley face plants and runs into Danielle, and he introduces himself as one of Saeed's friends.
I mean, when they start running, all I could think was you're going to run from these bullets, but nobody's concerned about all the booby traps that you could possibly be running through because you're not taking your freaking time.
Good call.
I mean, seriously, they were just he just blew off one of them pressure trigger things, and they had that spiky thing come down at him. But hey, let's just run away from the bullets. Come on.
I mean,
are you a bloody loon?
Are you a bloody loon? Are you a nutter? Well, then he asks her about the numbers. Oh, give me this thing. He shows her her own writing and asks why she wrote these numbers.
Yes.
And then she says that they were on the boat, heard them being broadcast over and over again, her ship, and then they changed course to find them, and then that's what ended up shipwrecking them on the island, basically.
Right.
Yeah, Hurley's pissed. That thing in the woods, maybe it's a monster, maybe it's a pissed off giraffe, I don't know. A great speech of Hurley.
Yeah.
This was his live together, die alone rant.
Okay.
The fact that no one is even looking for us, yeah, that's weird, but I just go along with it because I'm good. I'm along for the ride. Good old fun time Hurley. Well, guess what? Now I want some freaking answers. Now, that may have been the audience speaking. You know what I mean? Them speaking
Well,
to
yeah,
the audience.
because we wanted some answers at that point in time, for sure.
Yeah. I forgot what questions I even had at that point because we're getting the answers this time through.
Where was Claire taken? Still
no answer on that. We're never going to get that.
What's going on in the jungle? You know, with the smoke monster and all that.
Oh, we already have that answer in this version.
Who took the kids?
We already know.
What?
We know all these things.
I know, but
when
we were watching it originally, he had all sorts of questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. They were all over the place, but we've gotten all those answers now.
Who was on the other end of the transmission when Boone was like, "Oh my God,
yeah,
that was amazing."
The best when it was like, "What do you mean they're the survivors?"
Right. I don't know if I caught that the first time.
Yeah, the first time they said, Bernard said, all we heard was, "We're the survivors of Oceanic 815."
Right. Well, see, I think I was like, "You're the survivors?" Did he say "you're"? What's going on here?
Well, so anyways, she says after they shipwreck, they continue to search for the transmission source, the radio tower, and it's near the Black Rock. Some of them continued to search for the meaning of the numbers. Then the sickness came, and when her team was gone, she went back up and changed the transmission to what they had heard. He asks where the numbers got their power. They bring bad stuff to everyone around you. They're cursed. And then she realizes that the numbers brought her here. And it appears they brought you. And
well, she's lost everyone since she arrived.
Yeah, since she lost everyone and everything. Yeah, you're right. They are cursed. And he's just like, oh my God, thank you so much. Are you taking wedding bookings at the moment? Is that what's happening?
Not at all. But you said I'm supposed to watch my notifications.
You're doing that on Facebook. You logged in on the computer.
Oh, so I can turn this off.
Yes, you can. Ideally.
Got it. Technically, I was taking your booking. I'm booking you a job.
Oh,
right?
Whatever.
I'm trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Just multitasking.
Let's see. So he just hugs her, totally relieved that for the first fucking time.
That was a real, touching moment for me because I was, I really felt Hurley's pain where he had all that time.
He has all this reason to believe that they're bad. Like, all of the evidence after evidence of bad things happening.
And everybody just calls him nuts.
Yeah, and everybody's just like, you're crazy. And so, that's why Charlie had to be a dick. Charlie had to be an asshole to set up that people think he's crazy. So that when she didn't think he was crazy, you're fucking answering on messages on there, aren't you? You son of a... This is retarded.
I can type without looking.
Yeah, I know, and you're also not hearing any words that I'm saying.
Okay,
You're
I'm
just
hearing
like,
your words.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody calling Hurley crazy.
Well, no, that's why we got Charlie doing it. For
No.
the emphasis of him yelling at him, you're crazy, them running different ways, and then him meeting up with Danielle and her going, no, I get it.
I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Jack and Saeed in the jungle, they're looking through the rubble still, and Saeed finds Nadia's picture. Jack is bummed that they're going home empty-handed. I thought it was interesting that he said home. You've only
I
been there
didn't
for
catch that.
36 days. You're going home, huh? Like,
Well,
he could have said we're going back, but I just took it as interesting that he said going home.
I mean, when you're on vacation, you kind of call the hotel home.
Do you?
Like, I mean, when you're in...
I don't know. Tell me about it, Miss Vacation.
I don't know,
Did
let's
you
go
call
home.
it home? Like, I would always just say, let's go back. Let's go back to the hotel.
Well, yeah,
Let's
I guess.
go home. Charlie stumbles upon them and says someone was shooting at them, and they're all going to go find Hurley, and then he shows back up, and he has the battery. And he tells Saeed, she said, hey.
That was cool. Yeah.
Good job, Hurley.
Good job, Hurley.
Well done. You proved your worth.
Yes.
Did you comment on there, or is that somebody else?
No, that... Oh, is it...
Maybe
does it
just-
not refresh? I don't understand.
It's not very good.
I have to keep, like, reloading the page.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
Oops, I loaded somebody else's page. I'm not very good at this.
You are the worst at this.
No, I don't see anything.
Okay,
What are you
whatever.
seeing up there?
This is interesting for people who aren't watching live on
I'm
Facebook.
sorry. Don't do this
I
anymore.
know, it's the worst. Let's see. So, then we go to the opening Lost. And we come back at the beach camp at night. Still day 36. Hurley, Jack, and Saeed and Charlie return with the battery and give it to Michael. And then Locke is asking Claire if she thought of a name yet. And she says she was going to give it away for adoption, and it's her birthday today.
So that little scene was cool this time around because I don't know how much we really knew about Locke when the scene aired the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Did we know that he was adopted when she
No, we knew he was in a
admits
wheelchair, though.
that she was going to put the baby up for adoption? So he kind of...
I didn't even put that together. Yeah, he would have thought, well, that's cool that you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, no.
Well, she couldn't. She still would have.
Yeah, probably.
But, I mean, his point of view, and he wasn't super judgmental, even though he could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking, I wonder if we knew as viewers when that scene was going on that he was adopted.
No, we didn't. Not yet. Let's see. She didn't tell anybody it was her birthday because she's pregnant, single, and on an island in the middle of nowhere. And it, does it
who
really
cares?
matter?
No.
No. Locke says it's good luck that her and the baby's birthdays will be close, and she asks if he believes in luck. So I think she's leading towards the do you believe in
Fate?
in what are they called?
Math.
Signs, your astrology, or I mean whatever the hell you call it. What is the term?
Oh.
Your horoscopes.
Yes.
You know, that kind of shit, because she's into that.
Yeah.
And, psychics, and she's probably still trying to figure out if the psychic was full of shit or not.
But I think we already proved that he was full of crap.
But she doesn't know that. She left.
But didn't the
Getting
psychic
on the plane
talk
and following
to...
his... You know what I mean? She listened to what he said, but he
the
could have been full of
psychic's
shit.
daughter met up with Echo
Mm-hmm.
as if it was real, right?
Yes.
So do we really know that it was fake?
No, I'm saying from her point of view.
Mm.
At this time, she's trying to figure out... She's asking Locke if he believes in luck because she's trying to put together, was this psychic full of shit?
Right.
Because she doesn't know. Did he put me on the plane to get me to this island? Because that was genius.
Right.
She doesn't have any idea if
she has no
it was
clue.
just garbage or... Because he said it has to be that flight.
Yeah.
And, that's got to be weighing on her a little bit. So he hits one last board into place and says that'll do, and then she gives up on what it is, and it's a cradle.
And how did she not see that?
Because it's upside down. She's not thinking in any way that somebody would be doing that.
I guess,
And
yeah.
then when he said happy birthday, that was like,
It was
that's
really
fucking
sweet.
awesome. Now, did he know it was her birthday?
No, but he was...
Are you sure? Because that sounds like something Locke would do. That he would take all day on somebody's birthday to make them something with
But
that
they
person.
started it a couple days ago. It
Did
wasn't
they?
just that one day.
Oh, what? Locke wasn't with Yeah, well, no. That's the last... I'm pretty sure the last thing we saw Locke doing was that.
Oh. He asked
Yeah.
her at night.
The last... Maybe Locke can help. He's good at putting bits and pieces together about her missing memory. That was the last thing we saw of them. They were building that thing. They've been building it together.
But it's been a day, more than one day.
That was day 36. That's the day we're on now.
Oh.
Same day.
Okay.
So on her birthday. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That he
so
did that
first
on
thing
her
in
birthday.
the morning he asked her?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I really thought that it was just that he's looking at her going, this baby's going to be here any day and there's no cradle.
I mean, it's
So he was
awesome if he
it just
somehow
was
knows it's her birthday.
coincidental that it happened because he was like, oh, it's your birthday. And then he turned it over and he said, happy
But
birthday.
that sounds like something somebody would say if they were making you a present. Knowing
Well,
that it was
he
your birthday.
was.
He's like, oh, is it your birthday?
No, I think he was.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you could be right. However, I was thinking that he was just turning it over like he was going to say, here you go for the baby, but it was just so
It just seems like,
coincidental.
why would he
Happy
pick
birthday.
that day to do it rather than...
Because Boone was probably sleeping.
But I mean, literally any other time he could have, and he didn't want to take a second away from the hatch.
Right.
It's not like he was going, oh, I need to clear my head to think of...
Maybe because he knows that tomorrow she's going to be kidnapped by Rousseau.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see. So Hurley's sitting by a campfire, seemingly cooking his shirt, and Charlie's giving him shit. And
Yeah.
He's like, "Did you see a laundromat, dude? He's like, I know food's scarce, but your shirt?
But couldn't he have just hung it up to dry during the day?
Yeah, but if he was home during the day, he was gone. He was out.
Oh.
And he wants it for the next day, probably.
Okay, I guess. It was awfully close to the fire,
Right.
though.
Charlie brings up that Hurley was about to tell him something before Danielle started shooting at him. He thinks the plane crash was his fault, and before they came here, a lot of bad shit happened when he was around. He's like bad luck? Like Claire was asking about luck.
Yeah.
Brought that back into it. It's weird because these weren't even in the same episode sometimes, and they're the same
Right.
things. Bad things happen. Planes crash. People die. Do you think you're the only one with baggage? When this plane went down, I was in the bathroom doing heroin, so... I was such a junkie, I couldn't even take a plane ride without having a fix.
Which I think that's the first time he actually confessed to anybody other than Jack or...
Claire. He told Claire that
Oh,
he
he
was
told
a junkie,
Claire.
but that was
Well,
an
and
accident.
then Locke knew, so...
Yeah, Locke too.
But at his own will, telling somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think Jack figured it out based on him looking
obvious
like a
detox
junkie.
symptoms.
Yeah.
He's like, was that your fault too, Hurley? And he's like, I just told you the biggest secret of my life. It's, time to reciprocate. That's where you tell me that thing. And he's
Right.
like, I'm worth $156 million. And he's like, fine, don't tell me then.
Super funny.
Yeah. And then the last shot of the day 36, we zoom in on the numbers stamped on the side of the hatch, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean, we saw that getting put on.
I thought it was on the top.
No, it's just on the side.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Then we skip 2 days. We
Was
skipped
Hurley
day 37
there?
and 38. What?
During the incident? Mm-hmm. Hurley was there?
He was there as they were stamping it. They're like, what's the next number? 32?
And he was like, oh.
And he didn't say anything. They're like, nope, wait, it's 42. And he's like, fuck,
Oh, okay.
And they stamped it in.
I thought he corrected them, saying that the number was 42.
You're 42.
I don't know, whatever.
No, he said it's going to be 42, and then they said 32. Nope, wait, it's 42.
Oh, okay.
We skip 2 days, and we end up on day 39 in Dharmaville. And Juliet is working, and Ben comes in. She's reading Jack's file. Mikhail dropped it off. He's a spinal surgeon. He can help you. He's got specific background in removing tumors. Mm-hmm. And Ben is decidedly not excited. And I need you to come with me. So then we go near the tail section beach or wherever the fuck they were at. And after the last raid, the tailies took off. I thought that was an interesting way to play that, to see it from their perspective. I thought the last time we came in and took a bunch of them, they bailed. So, fuck.
But that wasn't the case. They had already bailed, and they were living somewhere else, because that's when Ana Lucia had dug that
but that
thing,
was...
and they were living
But that was Goodwin
there.
that was fucking with them. That wasn't the others.
I know.
Before, the others were coming and taking them. Like, taking the kids and the people on the list. When Goodwin was doing it, I mean, he wasn't even.
He wasn't taking
No,
anybody.
exactly. He wasn't taking anybody. So when they were moving, that was after they left, after the last raid.
Okay.
It's just cool to hear from Ben's side of it. Like, fuck, they left. Well,
Right.
try to find them. You know,
Yeah.
what else can you do, really? There's not much you can do. So he sent Pickett and Tom to track their location and came across this. He's sorry. She sees Goodwin dead. She asks what happened, and they don't know. There was no, there's
Obviously,
no
they
witnesses.
figured out that he wasn't one of them.
And then the way he said it, well, I guess I should have listened to you. When she said bring him home.
Yeah.
Too soon. Just fucking too soon, Ben. What a dick move.
Yeah.
What a dick thing to say. And she's like, why did you bring me out here? What you mean you instead of his wife? And she thinks he sent him out here to die. And why? After everything I did to get you here, everything to keep you here, how can you not understand that you're mine?
Which was super creepy. Like, and there's nothing that she can do about it. Although, he'll never get her.
Take as much time as you need.
Yeah, super
like,
freaking
composed
creepy.
himself, and it was just like, take as much time as you need.
Yeah.
Just
What?
fuck.
Creepy.
Let's see. So we go to the hatch, and Locke is dusting off the hatch window, and Boone has an opinion. Locke tells him to have some faith rather than an opinion. And a trebuchet will deliver a ton of force. That's what that thing's called, a trebuchet. But Boone doesn't get Locke. 1 minute you're quoting Nietzsche, and then you're an engineer. So did he ask Michael how to build the thing? Since he's the only engineer that I'm aware of on the island.
No idea.
Well, that's what he did during those 2 days. In my
sketching.
mind, it is now fact. Locke went and talked to Michael about a trebuchet. And how do you make that thing?
I mean, okay.
They've been coming out here for 2 weeks, Boone says. Everybody has a story. You never talk about yourself. He's like, my story would bore you. Nah, I don't think so. They take their first shot at the trebuchet, and no dice. It falls apart on impact, and Locke is pissed. This was supposed to work!
Yeah.
And he stomps on the hatch. I swore we were going to hear see Desmond's side of that. When he stomped on it, I thought we heard a couple times when they were fucking with the door.
Oh, I
from
don't
his
know.
point of view. But I think that's just going to be crazy split screens.
When it
For
happens.
season 2, episodes 1 through 3, those
Yeah.
all went on simultaneously.
Yeah.
In the show, so that it was like one episode, then the next point of view, then the next
I
point
know.
of view. They're
and
all
I
going
get
to be
so stressed out when there's the
you.
dual
I have
stuff.
to take notes of that
I know.
stuff. It's crazy. It's fun to watch because you
Yeah.
can just go back and watch it again. But let's see. So Locke's leg has some shrapnel in it, and he just kind of casually pulls it out, and he's fine. So at night,
I mean, it was like a long thing
it was
of
in there.
blood.
Yeah, it was in there pretty deep. So Locke's kind of tying his leg off, and then he stabs his other leg, hoping to feel. Same with his foot, and then he like burns it, and he's not feeling anything. It's just like, fuck. Is the island taking it away? Is that, you know what I mean? Day 40. Fucking 40 days on the island already. I can't tell you how much I love the island stuff.
It's really good.
It's fine on its own. Now, admittedly, you'd want to know way more about these characters. You wouldn't know shit about them. You know, if you never got that, if we never got pre-crash stuff. If
Oh,
we just
yeah.
started at the crash, and that would be an interesting way to watch this. To have somebody just watch it chronologically from the crash.
From episode 20 something on.
Yeah.
Never get any backstory,
Well,
but then
you would
still
eventually.
get the epilogue.
You could get them. You could get them eventually. When they flash back in time to the 70s, then you would cut to the earliest far back stuff and build back up to the 70s and then go back to present. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
my god.
But just for the purposes of not knowing what their backstory
screwing
is
it
on
up.
the island, it'd be cool. I'd like to see it that way. Can I just wipe the part of my brain and then turn it back on
No.
afterwards?
Maybe if I inject you with whatever that stuff they gave Claire.
Okay. Day 40 in the jungle, Locke and Boone are building another trebuchet, and everything breaks if you apply enough force, is Locke's method. If it doesn't work, the island would tell us what to do next. His leg, not doing so well. In Sun's garden, they're at the polar bear trees, the palm trees, and Sawyer's asking Sun's advice on which leaf to use to help. So that had to be related to his headache.
Oh yeah, it was.
But what the fuck would he have been doing with the leaf?
Smoking it? Eating it. Maybe burning it and inhaling the fumes. I don't know. She was like rubbing shit on Shannon before. I'm not an herbalist. I have no idea.
Fine. Jeez. Kate overhears and Sawyer clams up and walks away. And then Son says he has headaches and aspirin didn't help. At the caves, Kate then of course has to go to Jack and ask him to help. And, she asks him about having headaches every day. And Jack's shaving. I don't know why that was so funny to me.
That he was shaving?
Yeah, him shaving on a little mirror. He's got a razor.
Where did you get the little mirror? Did it come from the bathroom?
Yeah, the bathroom on the plane, probably.
Okay.
If Sawyer says he's fine, then he's fine. If I try and help him, we both know I'll just get a snappy one-liner, and if I'm real lucky, a brand new nickname. That was fucking
good.
Hilarious. One of Jack's most incisive insightful lines in the show.
Well, but
He's
let's go
just
back to
over
the
it.
mirror for a second.
Okay.
Because if it came from the bathroom, bathroom was in the cockpit or the tail section. There's definitely not a bathroom in the middle of the plane.
Okay.
So you think that they got
Then,
the mirror?
The mirror came from one of those handheld mirrors that would be in somebody's bag.
I guess.
Or like
And it happened to have
makeup
Velcro
case.
on the
Yeah, it happened to have Velcro on the
for
back.
him
No,
to stick
Jack
it to
just
the
keeps
caves?
Velcro in his wallet like I do. And you're
Yeah,
good to
that's
go.
normal. Okay.
Can always stick things on stuff. Velcro is great. Use it for your phone. Put it on the back of your phone and then stick the other side everywhere. It's great. Let's see. We go to what I didn't realize at the time was Locke's dream.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't realize it?
Not right at that second. It felt very real.
Oh, yeah, it did.
He tells Boone that he's late. And to me, I was like, wait a minute. Does that mean it's a different day than before? Because if he's late, he already talked to him that day. Boone says he thinks he's done. This is useless. You say you can open it, but you can't. Don't tell me what I can't do. It's a dead end. We're supposed to find this. If we're supposed to open it, then why haven't we? Locke thinks their faith is being tested, their commitment. What kind of sign will the island send us? And then he sees the yellow plane. And Boone's looking up and flashing bloody, and his mom appears and points up. Locke's wearing the
fur coat, yeah.
Yeah, and Teresa falls up the stairs. Teresa falls down the stairs. That was fucking creepy and awesome. It
was creepy.
Locke's in a wheelchair, and he says, don't take it back, and then tries to stand up and falls out, and then wakes up in the dark.
Yes.
So that was fucking awesome. I loved every second of that thing.
It was really
Just
good.
the way the mom was pointing up was so fucking creepy in the background, and Boone and the Teresa stuff.
Well, was he bloody because
he was dying, because it was a flash to when he fell in the plane.
Oh.
That's the end of Boone. I mean,
I thought he was bloody because it was supposed to represent Teresa falling down the stairs and being bloody.
I think it was just a premonition of what was to come.
Okay.
Because it was just a dream,
well,
so it
but
could be
you could have
anything.
tied it backwards to when
but
him and Shannon were covered in blood when he was hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I guess it was supposed to be a premonition of him falling. That makes more sense.
Let's see. So at night, in the jungle, Locke seems like he has an idea. And then we go to the next day. Day 41 at the beach camp, and he wakes up Boone. Tells him he had a dream after asking for a sign, and he saw a plane crash. It was a dream, but it was the most real thing I've ever experienced, is what he says. Have you been using that wacky paste stuff that made me see my sister get eaten? Genius.
That was pretty good.
He asks who Teresa is and why she falls. And Boone's like, how the fuck do you know about that? And Locke says, I don't know, but they're supposed to find that plane. And Boone's like, oh, I'm convinced. Fine, if you know that shit. What are you doing over there?
Trying to figure out how to refresh this.
What I found is if you go to notifications and then click on one that has to do with that post, it'll then take you to that shit.
What was that?
That was an iPad over there just making a noise. At the raft, Jen and Michael are making progress, and the fire wasn't a total loss. They've learned a few things from building the first one. Interesting, because that is the way that it is. If you ever have to redo something, you're like, oh, fuck, what was I thinking the first time? This makes no sense. So he's like, it's not trial and error anymore. Now it's just trial, and looks over at Jen all angry.
Yeah.
He's picking up on Korean, and I know how to say faster and idiot, I'm pretty sure.
You're right.
Jack sees Sawyer covering his eyes, and then he walks up and says, I heard you're having headaches. And now she's making you do house calls, Doc. It's like, and you're sensitive to light? He's like, you know what? I'm sensitive to you. And he's like, fuck it, I'm out. Just
Right.
whatever.
Don't have to help you.
He's like, is sensitivity to light bad? It's not like it's a tumor or something. He's like, what makes you think it's a tumor? Just fucking with him.
Oh my God, it's so
I mean, he
good.
was so on point. If this could have been the Jack
Yeah.
for the rest of the series, this would have been a great Jack.
Yes.
What does he say after that? Oh, what makes you think that? I don't. He's like, great. Okay, then. Then starts laughing. Or no, I started laughing. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Great. Okay. My uncle died of a brain tumor. He's like, do you smell anything funny? And he's like, nah, just headaches. This is worrying you, there's some tests I can do. Sorry, doc, my insurance ran out.
Yeah.
Fucking genius.
Good
Jack
stuff.
like that. And then Sawyer's kind of like, what? Just the fuck just happened? That's not how
Right.
you're supposed to react to my lines. And then he tries to smell stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, Jack is in your head.
Uh-huh.
Like the cranberries. Back in the jungle, Boone's trying to rationalize how Locke knows about Teresa. And he's asking about the dream plane crash. And Locke falls and says he's fine. Locke finds a cross necklace. And then he pulls down the body of a priest. So that was that Yemi?
No, Yemi was already dead in the thing. The priest that fell out of the what was that?
I don't know. He just saw the video for us. I figured I'd go
Oh, okay.
clear that up just in case.
The priest that was in the tree had a chute, as if when the plane was about to crash, they jumped out with
Oh,
a
okay,
parachute.
gotcha.
So he died in the tree. Yemi was already dead on the plane.
Gotcha.
So Yemi's got to be the one that fell on top of Boone. Right? In the plane?
Yes, in there. Gotcha. Yep. Okay, so... Oh, Locke is... Locke, on trying to date the body, says polyester could be anywhere from 2 to 10 years old. That should cover it. You know,
Right,
until you figure out when that was supposed to have occurred.
But it's been a
Writers.
couple years, right?
Yeah, it's been... I think it was 2000. It was early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so they covered it. They
2 to
put it
10
in-
years, no big deal.
They're just like, well, that'll give us an 8-year buffer for when we decide what actually
Right.
happened, how they got there. I mean, they had to fucking know. They had
knew.
to know how that all played out,
Yes.
at least in a general sense, to be able to
Right.
put a gun in the pocket, and you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they find Nigerian money in his pocket and a gun, and Locke isn't so sure he's a priest. Well fucking done, Detective Locke.
Yeah.
At the beach camp, Sawyer's head is pounding and all the sounds are super loud. That was a great shot.
And I can totally sympathize with him because, like, on days where I have a wedding and I'm working, you know, and there's 7-8 hours that I'm going and all I have is, like, water.
Yeah.
And I don't eat and I have these awful caffeine headaches and every sound, anybody talking to me just kills my head. And, I mean... And if you don't have your glasses on for long periods of time, those headaches are just awful.
Yeah. Well, so Kate takes him to Jack, and then at the caves, he tells him that it started a week or so ago. And they hit him midday, not so much first thing in the morning. And Jack's checking his pupils, and he starts asking about his history. And he's like,
So funny.
Blood transfusion? No. Pills for malaria? No. Ever had sex with a prostitute?
Yes.
I'll take that as a yes. Yes. Any STDs? Another yes. When was the last outbreak? He's like, okay, fuck off. And he
Right.
walks away. Kate knows he deserved that, but... And Jack's just like, oh, he needs glasses.
Yeah.
Like, I diagnosed that immediately. Why I didn't need any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
In the jungle, Boone asks what's going on with Locke's leg. And he got stabbed in the right leg, but his left leg is the one that's given out now. And... it says that maybe they should take him to Jack, and he's like, Jack wouldn't know the first thing about what's happening to me, and I guess that's valid. So he tells Boone that he was in a wheelchair, paralyzed for 4 years before the crash. Doesn't matter why. It does. Maybe not to you, or for the
At this
purposes of
time,
what's happening.
we
yeah.
didn't know.
The island made him whole, and now it's trying to take it back, and it wants him to follow what he saw.
Yeah.
They're here for a reason. They got to keep going. And he's like, can you move your legs? And then he says, just help me up, son. And that just reminded me so much of the way he acted with his dad. Because his dad would call him son.
Which is weird.
Yeah. That would be his instinct
Yeah.
to call Boone son. And it's right before he kills him, basically.
Right.
Which I'm sure Anthony Cooper was intending to do.
Correct.
Holy shit.
What?
And then he threw him off a fucking balcony.
Right.
Or he threw him out the window.
And Boone fell
And
off
Boone
a cliff.
fell off the cliff right after. Wow.
Yeah.
Never put that together before. Boone helps Locke walk along for a bit, and then he says that Teresa was his nanny. His mom wasn't around so much when he was young, so he needed someone to take it out on. And his bed was at the top of the stairs, and he'd sit there all day calling her on the intercom. And one day she took a bad step and broke her neck. He was 6. And Locke starts laughing, and Boone's like, "What the fuck? What's so funny?"
Yeah.
And he looks up past him and sees the plane.
So the flashback to Teresa falls up the stairs, Teresa falls down the stairs, was basically telling him to look up when Boone is saying the story.
Boone takes a bad step too.
Well, no, I'm saying.
Yeah, but the
image was when you're getting told the story, then the mom says to look up.
Yeah.
And that's the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, it tied together perfectly.
Yeah, but then again, Boone's at the top using an intercom. And then takes a bad step.
Was there an intercom in the story?
Well, he said I was using the intercom to call her.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, he said he would call her on the intercom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, so he really did see the plane, and what's important is what's inside, not how long it's been there. Boone has to climb up and find out. So, interesting that his legs stop working now and only now.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Was
Locke
that the
wasn't
island?
meant to go up there.
Well, I get that, because he could have died then. But I thought
Boone
the
wasn't
island
one of the
didn't
numbers.
intervene. I thought the island didn't intervene.
Well, but if Boone wasn't a number...
Boone was not a number. No, I'm talking about with Locke. Why would the island intervene with Locke going up there? The island is not supposed to...
Well,
it's
it
not
could-
allowed to kill people, but it's also not allowed to get involved.
But we talked about those, like, hot spots on the island. So it's possible that Locke was walking away from his hot spot on the island, which made him whole.
But he goes back there often. He goes back...
Oh, he did
He
walk
walks
back
all
there.
around the island.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to talk it through. I
was trying to come up with a
Yeah,
valid
that
point.
was
and
almost
you
reasonable.
Stepped all over it.
Right. Locke can't, because he can barely walk.
I know.
Yeah, I just found it really interesting that his legs took a shit on him right then.
Yeah.
And right as Boone has to go up and basically die. So, anyway, we go to the beach camp, and Jack approaches Sawyer and notes that he's been reading a lot. And then Jack makes it sound bad. He's like, you got hyperopia.
Yeah.
He's like, what is that? He's like, you're farsighted.
So good.
It can develop later in life when you add a new strain to the eyes, like reading. And then Jack starts having him try on glasses, and he's not happy about the girl glasses.
Yeah.
Better or worse? That made me laugh, because it's real eye doctor shit right there. Saeed's melting 2 different glasses together for him, and they seem to work.
Yeah.
And Hurley says, looks like someone steamrolled Harry Potter. So I didn't get that joke, because I've never seen Harry Potter. What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, I'm not sure, because Harry Potter's thing was always that he had the lightning bolt.
And round
on his
glasses.
forehead.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
There's been 2 or 3 of those in the run that I just don't get the joke.
Not sure.
Let's see. So Kate finds it hilarious anyway.
She did.
And then Jack tells Sawyer you're welcome, because he wasn't bothering to say you're welcome.
Or say thank you.
Yeah, thank you, yeah. In the jungle, Boone is climbing up, and he makes it to the plane, opens the door, and tosses it down. Kind of indicative of the path of the plane soon.
I mean, but he's totally cool with climbing up and getting into this plane that's literally hanging there by vines.
Yeah, it's just on a
Stupid.
canopy. Yeah,
No.
dumbass. He was meant to die.
Yes,
That's all there is to
obviously.
it. He finds some maps showing Nigeria, and the plane falls down a bit, and a corpse lands on him. That must have been yummy. Locke is annoyed that he can't stand or see what's in there himself, and here's your sign, and he throws down one of the statues, and it opens, and they were drug smugglers.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll go get Charlie.
We knew that, but yeah, exactly. Locke doesn't understand, and then Boone finds the radio. Locke hears it turn on, and then boom, split screen. Exciting, was waiting for this one. We've been talking about this for a few episodes now. Bernard is messing with it, and Ana Lucia's giving him shit. And he only turns it on a couple minutes a day, and Locke is simultaneously telling Boone to get out. Bernard hears Boone's mayday, and then Bernard and Boone both say they're survivors of Flight 815. Anna takes it and says it's them, meaning the
Well,
others.
it makes sense.
And Boone's plane falls, and Anna thinks they're trying to find them. Bernard says, they said 8:15 though. And she goes, well, Goodwin knew the flight number. That's how they knew. Valid, I guess. Yeah. Locke tries to check on Boone in the now upside down plane. So the plane hit, and then it fell over end to end. So the tail of it lands over that question mark period, which is the door.
Okay.
So that's how it happened.
I still need to see it from above.
We will. We will get there. That's the next thing we're looking forward to,
Thank
apparently.
goodness.
Locke tries to... let's see. Anna's positive there are no survivors. Bernard's got to be thinking of Rose at this point.
Absolutely.
And she's just shitting on that dream.
Right.
Whereas Jack was like, oh, your husband. And she's like, he's not dead. Like, she had the option to say that. And Bernard's just getting like, no, they're all dead.
Yeah.
This is our life now. Get used to it. Not a good leader.
No.
Locke climbs into the plane, and Bernard and Mr. Echo are not cool with what Anna is saying. Locke finds Boone bloody and helps him out, and his legs are working fine enough to carry Boone now.
Right. Now,
exactly when it was done.
He could barely stop or barely stand up, but now he could carry another human being miles back to
That's what I'm
camp.
saying. This feels like the island intervened, and I want to know fucking why. Unless because it can't be protecting them. Say it's protecting the candidates. That doesn't make sense. It can't be protecting Locke. That's cheating. That's not how this game is played. You know, they can't be going, oh, well, here are my candidates. You got to make sure they live. Not only can you not kill them, they have to live.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? They have to get to a certain point in the game.
Maybe it was some sort of learning achievement for Locke in this scenario.
I don't know what he
follow
learned.
The signs.
Yeah. It's a real bummer that they were so close to another hatch. One that would have opened right then and there. I mean, fucking, what's his name? Nikki and Paolo already opened it.
Well, they didn't do that till seasons later, but whatever.
No, they have been here the whole time, remember?
No.
We saw their flashbacks.
We did.
We saw their flashbacks. She was there for the Live Together, Die Alone speech, remember?
There.
She was the best. In the jungle, the tail section, that area of the jungle, you know, they're by a stream, and Anna starts crying by herself, and she sees Mr. Echo watching her. Mm-hmm. And he says it's going to be okay. And he comforts her. And she's like, you waited 40 days to talk? He's like, you waited 40 days to cry. Valid fucking point. Mm-hmm. Boom, in your face. She is bad at faces as well as Saeed.
She's the worst.
Look at that face.
I can't make it.
Just stop making cry faces. They're the worst. It fades out on them hugging.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, and then we go to the golf course. We get a scene you've never seen before, I'm sure.
Correct. Well,
don't they
maybe.
feel weird?
They definitely...
They feel acted wrong.
Like, that's
it's like
not
they're not directed
normal.
by the same people.
Right.
Even though that one said directed by Jack Bender. It felt like they were out of character to some degree.
Correct. They were like...
trying too hard to be a different version of that character.
No, I think that they were just... The show was over... And they were there filming as buddies. And they were, like, excited about this opportunity to be together.
Yeah.
And they just weren't.
But this
as
is not
in
after
character.
The show's over.
Well, what wouldn't have been in the same season.
No, this is not after, like, season 6 is over. They did these between season 1 and 2.
Oh, I thought these were filmed way later.
No, not way later. Well, that's something you could look up on Lostpedia there. When were the missing pieces filmed? Or just look up missing pieces in there, and it'll tell you the details about them. So anyway, this one's called Jin Has a Temper Tantrum on the Golf Course. And Hurley tells him that if he sinks the putt, he wins. And Michael's like, he can't understand you. And Hurley's like, he can feel me, though. He misses. Michael wins, and Jin loses his shit.
Yeah.
Did you find out?
Yeah, they were... The Missing Pieces was a series of 13 mobisodes/webisodes, which were released weekly on Verizon mobile phones and 6 days later on ABC.com between November 6, 2007 and February 4th, 2008. So that was at least 4 years later.
That was after season 3.
3 to 4 years later, yeah. Right?
Yeah, season 1 came out in 2004. That was after season 4? Wow.
November 2007. So it'd be
so sometime
3 years.
during season 4.
Season 3 or 4, yeah. I mean, it just, like I said, the characters were already pretty much developed. Jin would have already been speaking English on the show, so now he's faking that he only speaks. What do they
The
speak?
fourth
Korean?
season aired January 31st, 2008 through May 29th, 2008. So this was between season 3 and 4 that those came out.
Yeah.
Okay, just to be clear. So after season 3, we came back and fit all these pieces in. So Michael had already left. Mm-hmm. Right? No. He hadn't. He had left after season 2 with the boat with Walt.
Yeah.
So he was gone for a while before he came back.
Yeah, but like I said, Jin already spoke English by this point, and even if it wasn't great...
No, he didn't. He was still maybe a little, maybe very little. Yeah, you're right.
She gives him the book.
It's just interesting to see them try to go back, revert back to the way they were. They almost should have had them watch chronologically where they were on the show prior.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jin's pissed. Why can't I hit the ball in the hole? I just wanted to do one thing right, you know?
I mean, I can...
And he starts yelling at
his
Hurley,
pain.
"You don't talk for once."
Yeah.
Because you always talk. How can I lose to both Hurley and Michael? I hate this horrible island, throws Club.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone understand me? I just wanted one moment of happiness. Why? Why can't I be happy? Who invented this stupid game? You horrible ball. Please take this handcuff off. I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
Don't pity me. I've hurt people for less. I mean, fucking just a cavalcade of one-liners. He's doing the Happy Gilmore bit about the ball going to its home.
Oh.
Why won't you go to your home?
Well, and then Hurley's like, I think he said our names.
Yeah, I think I heard our names. Yeah, maybe we should take a break from golf for a while.
Yeah.
And then Jin's like, I'm so alone.
Oh, poor Jin.
Yeah, I mean, great. That was a great little bit to throw in there.
I think it was just supposed to be
It's very
comedic.
jarring. The way it's shot looks different, and like just everything about it isn't right. But
Yeah.
it also does sort of fit. It's just his
I mean, it
hair's
fit, it
weird.
just
Like,
was-
you have to
yes.
leave continuity aside for those, and I'm willing to do that
Okay.
because I love Lost, and I'll take any spots they want to
Right.
fill back in. We go to the caves for the last part of the episode, and Kate asks if Jack knew before or after he asked about Sawyer's latest outbreak that he needed glasses. And he's like, well, doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
She thanks him for helping Sawyer, and he's like, I didn't do it for him.
Ew. Don't ever do that again. I have nightmares.
Right, good. Locke is yelling for Jack's help. What happened? Boone fell off a cliff out near where we were hunting. And damn, Boone is fucked up. They ripped his shirt open. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. He was bad.
Jack asks exactly what happened, and Locke is gone
He
like
was
a motherfucker. He bailed.
I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure Locke isn't there anymore. And then it turns around and he was gone. I'm like, nice.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, another amazing episode. I want to see what happens next right now. I'm sad that Boone's gone already. I didn't believe he made it 40 days.
I know. I thought that he was going to die a long time ago.
Is there anything to... Wait, was that day 41 or day 40?
I think that was 41.
Yeah, day
Because-
41. Okay, I was going to say...
Because Echo was at least on the island one day before he stopped talking. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, remember the first night they came for them.
yeah.
So
and he didn't
that
talk
first night he
anymore
didn't talk
that.
after that because he killed 2 of them with a rock.
Yeah. I mean, the next... So, what do you think Locke did? Turn around and went back
He
to...
immediately went back to the hatch.
Oh my god, what a jerk. And what was he meant to do next?
Yeah, because he said
'Cause he
it's
learned
gonna
nothing
tell
from
me
the
something
plane.
about what to do next for the
No.
hatch, and that did not happen.
Not at all.
I don't know. Will Locke ever get into the hatch? Tune in next week. Yeah, we'll be back next Saturday, right?
Yep.
Just like usual. Yeah, well, I got nothing to end this on. Hit us up on Twitter @_HowToWatchTV. Use the Facebook group. There's been a lot of activity on there. Facebook.com/groups/HowToWatchTV. That easy. Thanks for throwing the thumbs up in there. Was that you that just did that? Did you just click the thumbs up? I just saw something float past.
I don't know.
Okay, well, thanks for the thumbs up. We'll see you next week because... Damn it, you know what? I hate when I do that.
I hate when you do it too.
When I have to like pretend that I didn't hit the theme because I muted the
Oh.
computer, so I just
you
know.
just pretend like I didn't get that.
Yeah, anything else? of any note.
We had some good tacos for dinner, but they didn't have any sour cream, so that kind of sucked.
Jeremy and I are going to continue podcasting, but it may just be like in the form of Joel Henderson's show in the meantime, while we don't have, a show that we're talking about.
Oh, I started a new show. You want to hear about it?
I forgot what show it was because I feel like I'm going to be angry.
It's called Beauty and the Beast, or The Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that sounds...
It's totally like a CW show, but it's
awful.
this guy who's got he was in the military and they mutated his DNA, so anytime his adrenaline gets
hate
going,
it already.
he turns into vampire werewolf, kind of got more like werewolf. He is super strong and can kill people, but he falls in love with this girl who he saved, and she becomes a detective in New York because her mom was killed and he saved her, and she, I really like it. It's on Netflix. There's 3 seasons in case anybody wants to binge watch it with me.
Jen just told me today that she got into Limitless on Netflix. I'm like, Jen, first of all, Limitless? Really?
Isn't that a movie?
The CBS show as a spin-off of the movie starring Bradley Cooper. That's what you need to watch? You gotta be in on that.
Oh, the video's frozen for Mom. Probably because of that thing up there.
Why does it do that?
We're back.
We're back just to say goodbye. But anyway,
just to leave.
She said she's watching Limitless, and I'm like, yeah, you know that it got canceled after the first season.
I know.
That's the only reason a CBS show would. Be on Netflix is because it got canceled. Because they have to monetize their... They charge you for the fucking app on Apple TV. If
really?
you have cable,
CBS does?
You have to pay to watch their shit.
They're
awful. Fucking assholes.
I mean, I don't know. I really like
Why
it.
is Mom watching this?
Hey,
I
Mom!
appreciate you being here, Mom, but why are you watching us talk about Lost?
Yeah, you'll never get it, but that's okay. You can watch... what would you like to watch, Mom? It's working now, she said.
Yeah. I mean...
She's so helpful.
I'm not doing Golden Girls podcast. People are just... Okay.
Hey, Ma! Meatloaf!
Yes, Mom is upstairs. Thank you for pointing out that I live in my parents' basement. We'll see you next week because...
This is how to watch TV.
See you later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.